Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Today, we are going to do something I have not done before and something I actually don't like doing, and that is to speculate and gossip. But I begged for the truth. I asked nicely. I even offered bribes. No, I didn't. Anyway, I did everything I could to get an inkling of the truth. But all I ended up with is that no one confirmed the gossip and no one denied it either. So I guess it will remain speculation, and therefore we are free to speculate as well. From my side, it started with a friend of a friend told my friend kind of story. But it was interesting enough that I immediately, on a scale of true or false, found the balance of probability to be fairly good. I then sent DMs and email to a few people, hoping that their information could just balance the scale of probability a little more. But like I said, this time no one was even prepared to say yay or nay on this one. Okay, so what the heck am I talking about? Well, let's first jolt your memories a little. Do you remember when there was a story of Meghan found wandering outside the grounds of Windsor and being picked up by the Metropolitan Police and transported back to Frogmore Cottage? Do you remember that ambulance parked near Frogmore and everybody saying that it had something to do with Archie's birth? So, what if I tell you that the gossip or speculation in certain circles is that these two incidents are actually linked and has everything to do with Meghan's lies during the Oprah interview? Okay, we know that Meghan and Harry told a number of lies during this interview. I think the last count was something like 21, 17 for Meghan and 4 for Harry or something like that. But in this instance, I'm referring to the supposed lies she told about her passport and keys being taken away and being confined to their home for 5 months. Well, I was told or heard that Meghan told the truth when she said that she struggled with mental health issues during her stay in Britain. I'm told that she struggled with mental health issues before and after she lived in Britain. But before she moved to Britain, she was functioning regardless, largely because she self-medicated with alcohol and weed. Remember, cannabis is legal in Canada and can be bought at a cannabis store in every little town. In Britain, however, and in particular within the royal family environment and homes, this was not the case. She could not do that any longer. With the rigid time-sensitive events, rules, and the type of staff and their rigid work instructions and environment, Meghan could not adjust, particularly because of her own narcissism and skewed image of what a royal is supposed to be. In her mind, she was the one in charge, the royal, and she could demand that staff do her bidding at any time of any day. But in reality, royal staff are appointed for their particular expertise in their particular job, and often it is the royal who needs to take their direction and advice, if not instruction. Meghan was also no longer the celebrity, the belle of the ball. She could no longer push to the front like she did for most of her life. She could only do that when alone with Harry, but the moment another blood royal was present, she had to take a step back. Suddenly, other women like Camilla and Catherine, who was even younger than Meghan, took center stage. And under certain circumstances, she even had to step back or take a back seat to someone she considered a friend, namely someone like Eugenie. Remember, unless she was with Harry. All other blood royals were of higher rank. Meghan's frustration, her lack of understanding of the traditions, her own ego, her greed, her needs are such that it would create problems in normal relationships. But these were not normal relationships, and it played havoc with her ego and ultimately her mind. I'm told her outbursts of anger and frustration were legendary and far worse than we are being told. Staff, be it office staff as well as staff at home, saw a side of Meghan that would be hard to imagine for people like us. Screaming and throwing things, even crying and storming off, happened whenever things did not go her way. Her own staff, one after the other, realized that no matter what they do, nothing was going to change, as it was a flaw inside of Meghan, a mental issue and part of who she was. Even a helicopter pilot who worked for the royal family for many years and who was familiar with the sometimes over the top requests or the whims and fancies of the royals like Charles and Andrew and even the Queen herself, could not deal with Meghan's demands and rudeness. And even though he did not work for the Sussexes, he could not foresee Harry and Meghan leaving the royal family. So he left. She also took a lot of her anger out on Harry. I am told, remember, allegedly, okay? I'm told she had thrown things at him, shouted, shoved, screamed, kicked, slapped, and even bit him. Remember, allegedly. But as her conduct deteriorated, the rift between her and the royal family also grew. Not everyone in the family had the patience or empathy to put up with such conduct. Whatever the story was surrounding Archie's birth, it only served to escalate her stress levels, and if it was even possible, her anger and frustration got worse and boiled over more regularly. I'm told that she did indeed threaten suicide, and although it was the general consensus that the threats were just part of her manipulative, over the top behavior, the royal family could not chance it and called in for professional help. I'm told that at some point help was indeed called in and arrived. I'm told that Meghan at first refused medical and mental help, and that at first, when the outbursts were at its worst, there was an ambulance stationed nearby during these clandestine visits from doctors and professionals, just in case she had to be medically subdued. I'm also told that at some point after Archie's arrival and after she was stopped aimlessly wandering around the grounds of Windsor, and another incident where she was caught rattling a gate, and after threats that she would leave Britain and disappear with a child, her travel documents and keys were indeed taken from her. I'm also told that it was due to her volatile and unpredictable conduct that she was being monitored and not allowed out of her home unless she was calm and or with Harry. I could not find any proof or confirmation that she was sectioned under the Mental Health Act, but I won't, will I? But it is possible that because of who she is, she received this round-the-clock care within the walls of Frogmore, and that is indeed what I was told. I'm also told that Meghan's mental health and volatile conduct was indeed the reason for their extended holidays and their final extended holiday to Vancouver Island. I was told that they, Harry and Meghan, were told not to return to England unless or until her mental health had improved to such an extent that she could again appear in public. I'm told that the royal family feared that there would be a public incident which would result in the British media catching on and looking into her mental health issues. I'm also told that the royal family is blaming Meghan's mental health or are using it as an excuse for her bullying behavior towards staff, and that is why they will not proceed with the bullying investigation. So there you have it, folks. I cannot vouch for this information, but it all fits, doesn't it? Remember, every lie has an element of truth in it. Yes, Meghan is a habitual liar and manipulator, but it is most likely part and parcel of her mental illness, delusions of grandeur, and narcissism. So that, my dears, is how old news now fits with the most recent gossip. I was given leads to follow to get to the truth, but we know that medical professionals and even the police are not allowed to give out such information. But my source made it very clear that the mental health treatment she received in England between the period of March 2019 and October 2019 was not voluntary. And one of the reasons why she will not return to Britain, at least not for as long as the Queen is alive. So make of that what you will. I hesitated sharing this information, but as most of it fits with what we already know and what is already in the media, I also could not see why not. Both Harry and Meghan also both publicly admitted to having mental issues. So although this gossip may or may not be true, it surely fits with their own narrative and only puts a little more serious spin on it. I'm told that this is likely part of the information the royal family fear will come out in Harry's book, except that they expect Harry to blame them for Meghan's declining mental health while in England, and that he will blame them for forcing treatment on Meghan during the last months of their stay in the United Kingdom. So, like you, I'm waiting to see whether Harry will give his version of his own truth on the scenario and what his truth will look like. Okay, my dear friends, until we meet again on the next one, please take good care of yourselves. Bye.